Hi, this is Steve from Freshagenda with a quick roundup of what we're seeing in the dairy world. We're about to issue an update of our global directions later this week, but I thought it'd be good to recap on some of the key things we're looking at right now. Starting in Europe, where there's been a surprising burst of milk production growth in June, which exceeded expectations. We don't think that'll stay the case in the short term, but we'll see production build over last year as we go into the last quarter, given the very low production that occurred late last year. Those changes in production are certainly influencing product mix, and the different product values that we're seeing, the returns to different product streams, are certainly affecting decisions with butterfat being so valuable, at least in the short term. One of the implications of that changing mix and that changing production profile is what's going to happen to skim milk powder and the intervention stocks that are sitting in Europe. Intervention is supposed to close in 4 weeks' time. The big cloud over this is whether it is extended, but given the good milk prices available to farmers, the political heat's probably gone out of the issue. Staying in Europe, projections for the availability of butterfat also hang on those changing production profiles and mix. So we'll be looking at what that means for product availability and whether that changes those market dynamics. Across to the US, where they are building an impressive stockpile of cheese, milk production growth is still pretty good. Again, we're looking forward into the future as to where that cheese stockpile is going to go. Does that make them more competitive in exports with their weaker dollar? And the growth that's coming in the US in the coming half year, where's that going to be and what products it's going to be used in. Over to New Zealand, where a good season looks in prospect for milk producers. Milk production is affected by pasture growth, and pasture growth looks like a little slow at this point in time, with most regions behind typical levels. So just what that holds is an interesting scenario, and where that means the availability of whole milk powder and of course skim and butterfat. That's all been about the supply side. If we go across the demand side, we've seen some pretty strong trade numbers in recent months, with very strong exports of skim milk powder from most regions, particularly Europe, which has used up quite a bit of product. China has also been buying very strongly in whole milk powder for recent months. Will that continue? What does that do to the balance in the marketplace going forward? And are we going to see that balance continue to remain reasonably tight as we look through to the rest of 2017 and into 2018? They're the big things we're looking at. That's a wrap, and we'll see you again next week.